Hey everybody, Lorelia here, coming to you with a video today. Want to talk about betting on yourself. And what do I mean by that? If you're new to this channel, I primarily talk about leveraging credit, both personal and business credit, to invest in real estate, build wealth, or what have you. I'm not new to the topic of credit. Have 500 plus videos right here on this channel, have reached 500,000 people talking about this topic. So I'm not new to the subject. But today I want to talk about betting on yourself. What do I mean by that? On a regular basis, whenever I have a consult with people, that's normally, pretty much every day during the week. Um, People always ask me about guarantees. And let me just address what guarantees really mean for the person who's asking. If you've ever been in a situation where you are the person who's asking another person who provides a service, do you guarantee? It's because you don't have faith in yourself. You may not know this, but that's really what it means. Because let me give you an example. I feel sorry for the person who don't bet on themselves. And what I mean by that is, in any endeavor, let's just take real estate for example. There are people who make millions off of real estate. There are people who may not be millionaires, but they are financially, positioned. I won't even use the word wealthy. They're financially positioned, whereas the assets they've invested in real estate create an income that pays them both passively, residually, plus they're getting the appreciation with real estate. Regardless of any economy, real estate always goes up. With that being said, it would be very odd for a person to say, you know what, I want to invest in real estate, but before I do, I need someone to guarantee me that I'm going to become a millionaire in real estate. 90% of the people, I want to say 98% of the people, probably 99, 100% of the people, no one asks for a guarantee when they know they want to do something in regards to real estate. Because if they've been studying for any amount of time, if they, are an investor, they know that, real estate, there are ebbs and flows, especially if you're new. You may invest in an asset. It may not, produce for you what you thought it was, but you've learned from it and you move on. And so most people don't have the mindset of, is someone going to guarantee me being a millionaire? How does this relate to what it is that I do in funding? I get people who come to me and they say, are you going to guarantee me funding? Are you going to guarantee me funding? And this is my answer to your guarantee. Bet on yourself. Because if someone, I always tell people that I can get anyone funding. The money part of it is very small. But that's hard for individuals to believe when they've never really had access to money. They've really never had access to credit. Pretty much all their adult life, they've had bad credit. But lo and behold, they've gotten some Facebook groups. They've did some research on YouTube. They discovered business credit. And now they want somebody to create a miracle that they weren't even willing to do themselves. And so going back to betting on yourself, I don't know how anybody else thinks, but this is what I shared with some of my clients last night. We had a group coaching session. I said, whenever I invest in something, whether it's coaching, whether it's a class, I'm never looking for a guarantee. Never. The reason why I'm never looking for a guarantee from the person who's teaching or the person who's coaching or the person who's consulting is because I know that I have the fortitude to take what blueprint they give me and I'm going to run with it. Because, see, all I need is the blueprint. Like, I don't need for no one to guarantee me anything because all I need is the blueprint. Because I understand, and this is no shade for those who don't historically know what have systemically been kept from you, is that many moons ago, and I'm not even going to say many, I'm going to go back as much as 46 years ago. And the reason why I picked 46 years is because 46 years ago, 1973, is when President Nixon took the US dollar off the gold standard. And so the US dollar became debt. And with that being said, the trajectory of how this country was beginning and economically was that credit now became a tool that many people used to be able to build wealth. But unfortunately, individuals who look like me were left out of that conversation, and they didn't know that. So the topic of credit and debt are really new. And not that I'm saying it's new in terms of it just existing, but it's new in terms of the ability to leverage it and build wealth. So with that being said, if I know that there's information that can change the trajectory of my life, all I need is the blueprint. As long as that person says they have the blueprint, that's all I need. Give me the blueprint. I'm going to implement it and I'm going to run with it. I don't need your game. Because, see, I know I'm going to put the work in. See, I always tell clients that I work with, if the accessibility to get business funding, to leverage, to build wealth was easy, it is, and when I say easy, meaning that everyone knows how to do it. If everybody knew how to do it, nobody would be scrambling around trying to figure it out. The missing piece is it takes work, which is not what most people are willing to do. So that's why most people are very enticed by people telling them that the net 30 accounts, the DNB, the Dun and Bradstreet, you don't need to have no business revenue. And don't get me wrong, there are times, there's clients that I work with that business revenue wise is low, but there's some things that we're able to leverage. Like I said, leveraging your personal credit. Because see, what your business credit gurus are not telling you, that the sweet spot with money, a lot of how many groups of people have been able to build wealth is that they've leveraged their personal credit. But your gurus won't tell you that, because they have you shooting at a target that is not the right target. And so with that being said, going back to what I said about 46 years ago or 49 years ago, what have you, definitely since 1970, when the dollar was taken off of the gold standard, the dollar became debt. There are groups of people who've gotten a head start before you. And they've been using the strategy of leveraging personal credit. But your gurus won't tell you that. They have you shooting at a target. That's why you have individuals who are talking about, I want to build business credit and I don't want no personal guarantee. But then when you ask them how much revenue is your business bringing in, they're looking at you with two heads. Like, don't look at me with two heads. Because this is what I know. There's 20-year-olds who are killing it with e-commerce. So with that being said, what's the correlation between those two? Is that most people won't be willing to learn what is really going to take to change the trajectory of their financial lives. They don't believe that if they get access to information, and that if they implement it, their lives can change dramatically. They don't. Why? Because systematically they've been told that that their brains can't figure stuff out. That they need someone else to have them to believe. And that's why I say, whenever someone is really stuck on, are you going to guarantee, it's because they're looking to take the blame off themselves and now transfer it to someone else. And my answer to that is, I won't allow no adult who's 40 plus years old, 50 plus years old, or even in their 30s, that spent all their lives in debt, bad credit, can't manage their money. And now all of a sudden they get access to some information, and which is great. I say all the time, you know, we live in a time and place now is that information is limitless. You know, you got people giving free game here on YouTube, such as myself, Facebook Lives, you got Instagram Lives, I guess you even got TikTok. People giving, you know, free game. But the problem is that the capacity for some people who don't know how to think, they're not thinking people, they won't bet on themselves. They won't take that information and implement. Because they looking to play the game, the blame game. And guess what? Them same individuals who won't bet on themselves, who always looking to play the blame game, will always be in the same situation. Same situation. That's why I said, don't come to me and you're an adult. In all your adult years, you done had bad credit. You ain't paid nobody. You ain't paid nobody back. And now all of a sudden you looking for this magical wand of credit. Take that to your gurus. Ask for your guarantees from them. Because this is what I tell people. If you work with me, I guarantee that you can get some funding. Well, how do you guarantee that, Lorelia? Because my process works, but everybody ain't willing to do the work. It's easy that when you hear people like, oh no, I'll do the work. If I had the blueprint, I'll do the work. No, you wouldn't do the work. You wouldn't do the work because the work comes with work. See, most people, that's why I did a video on the difference between a loan broker and a loan consultant, which is what I do. Most people just want to give their stuff to somebody and you tell me how much you gonna give me. 90% of the people that come to me have no idea how much funding they need. Well, I don't know. You tell me. And that's the wrong mindset to have. That you have no idea how much money you're worth, how much money you should get. But I forgot, if you got a business that's bringing in no revenue, you don't know how much money you should be able to get. So all I'm saying is, thank you, Chris Jones. Thank you. I'm glad that if I'm able to reach one person, that's great. So that's why I always say, man, you know, bet on you. Bet on you. You can't take a blueprint, implement it, and change the whole trajectory of your life. But I understand for many people, the ability and the access to credit and money is not fluid in their lives. They've never seen it. So they can't believe it's possible. They can't believe it. So that's why they can't bet on themselves. They're not willing to do the work. I say all the time, if it was easy, everybody would have the funding. That's why when people come to me and they say, well, are you going to look at my stuff? No, I don't need to look at your stuff. You're not funding ready. Oh, but my credit score is 720. It don't matter. You're not funding ready. Well, my score is 785. I don't care. You're not funding ready. How do you know I'm not funding ready, Loretta? You never seen my stuff? Because you wouldn't be talking to me. You would already have what you want. You would already have the funding. That's oxymoronic. I need the funding, but no, I'm funding ready, but can't get the funding. That's oxymoronic. I'm funding ready, but I can't get the funding. No, that ain't it. That's why I tell everybody. That's why I decided to consult with people, because I noticed when I was just, at one time, I was really just doing the process of what a loan broker did. You give me your information, I put it in the loan broker system to see if you qualify, and boom, they'll let me know, denied or what have you. But what I was noticing is that so many people were the target was so off. Like I knew that they would never get funding based on where they were. They would never, and this is not a credit score question. A credit score problem. It's not, oh, well, Lori, that's because they didn't have the score. No, that's not it. That's not it. I always say your ability to get funding is based on the credit data. It's not the score. It's the credit data. It's the data is what gets you the funding. It gets you approved, whatever. That's why you have people, and not gonna, beat a dead horse. They get these credit sweeps. Everything get wiped off their credit. They got their one little Open Sky card or Merrick Bank, and they got an 820 credit score, and then they wondering why they can't get nothing. You have no data. You're 40 plus years old with a credit file of a 18-year-old. You have nothing. You have nothing. So that's why, I tell people all the time, thank you, Alicia. What's up? How you doing? Most people ain't willing to bet on themselves. They will not do the work that's necessary to get the funding. I did a session last night. One of the clients last night told him what to do. He implemented, and it said my score went up 30 points by implementation. So people always say, what's the difference between those who get funding and those who don't? The ones who get the funding, they implement ASAP. When we have that first meeting, they go and they implement. It's not about what it is you think. Because if your thinking was right, you would have the funding. It's no dispute about it. How you can't get the funding, but all of a sudden I'm going to think what I need to do. Well, I think we need to do this, and I think we need to do that. If your thoughts were right, you would have the funding. So that's why, I think it's so important for people to bet on themselves and just follow the process. And this goes with anybody. Like, whoever you believe is going to get you to where you want to go, and you feel like they have the blueprint, trust the process. Bet on yourself that whatever they provide to you, that you implement it and get the result. Like, I can't imagine grown people putting their whole financial livelihood on the hopes that someone gonna guarantee me stuff. But I understand that there are people who look like me who financially have been left out of certain conversations. And it goes back to, like I said, with, what happened early part of the 70s. US dollar being taken off the gold standard, being now a fiat currency, and really a lot of us that look like me didn't come from families where the conversation of credit was very fluid. Didn't come from, families where the conversation of leveraging was talked about. I get it. But with that being said, I'm 19 minutes already into this call, but I just had to talk about that. The whole point of betting on yourself. Like I tell you, if you bet on yourself your whole life, and that's why I've did videos in the past about this topic, in terms of I can never get scammed. Reason why I can never get scammed, I'm gonna bet on myself. I have enough understanding, I comprehend well that if a person gives me something, I'm going to take it, I'm going to understand, I'm going to implement it, I'm going to see how how this is going to fit in the situation of what I'm trying to do. I'm not sitting around like a bird on a branch like, feed me, Seymour, feed me, Seymour. And I'm not saying everybody should just think like me, but you give yourself so much um empowerment knowing when you bet on yourself, not on nobody else. So that's my take. That's all I have for you. If you're someone who's looking to learn how you can get access to 25,000, hey, how you doing, Javon? $25,000 or more in funding to invest in real estate business, go to www.helpmegetbizcredit.com. Links will be below this video. I look forward to talking to you, working with you, and until the next video, like I said, bet on yourself. Your whole financial, life will change. So once again,